You are listening to episode 45 of the Underhook Show, a Friday edition by the time you are hearing this. My name is Steve, as always, alongside my co-host Chris. Chris, how you doing this evening?
4-5. Are we Jordan? We're coming back like we're Jordan? I'm
Yes,
feeling
sir.
good, man. Chilling. One day away from my excursion to Indianapolis, so I'm just stoked for that, man.
Yep, we'll have Underhook representation at the Squared Circle Expo in Indianapolis. None other than our own Chris will be down there with some promo that I got in at the last second.
My man coming in clutch.
Look for the Underhook Show stickers floating around if by chance you are attending as well. But other than that, man, how you doing?
Oh, man, I'm chilling, bro. Excited to talk some wrestling. Excited for the weekend. Just chilling, man. How about you, bro?
Yeah, whatever's in the air I've been exhausted. I've no legitimate reason to other than just not sleeping. But nothing else to complain about. Been watching some wrestling in the meantime. But before I share that, I will ask you the question. What have you been watching outside of AEW?
WCW.
Hell yeah.
Like I was telling you before we started recording, just randomly decided to start watching a random Clash of the Champions episode. But like you told me, I gotta get to 91, 92. So I'm gonna push through this.
Yeah, I hear the peaks in 92 are insanely high when you get into Sting Vader and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the Vader Cactus Jack matches, a lot of the Sting Vader stuff. Yeah, of course, like Ron Simmons beating Vader. So I never seen I don't think I've ever seen anything before that though that I can recall, other than RoboCop coming out one time.
I've just been pushing through the end of 95 in ECW, which has been a joy. Very much, I'm at the tail end of the Sandman Mikey Whipwreck feud, and it has been my favorite stuff in the whole year. I will be real. I know people, when you think of 95, you think of the Eddie and Dean Malenko stuff, or we just got Ray and Psychosis with where I'm at, which is the Ray Psychosis 2 out of 3 falls fucking badass.
Their
as
Mexican death match was awesome. If I don't know,
yeah, I'm getting to that.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
getting there.
Okay,
yeah.
I just remember that from the DVDs. So
yeah, I'm getting to that one. I just watched the 2 out of 3 falls, which was awesome. And I'm excited because I still got Cactus Jack for a few more months. Terry Funk's coming back, and again, dude, the Sandman Mikey Whipwreck stuff, especially once ladders get involved, is phenomenal. Mikey had more near-death experiences than Darby did this week, and that's saying something.
Yeah, Mikey is the original, for sure.
Honestly,
before Spike Dudley, before Darby, it was Mikey.
Yeah.
I love Mikey Whipwreck. I loved him back in the day. I loved him more so when I got exposed. Well, when TNN got ECW and Mikey Whipwreck was more exposed on there. I liked him. And then went back and watched him as a rookie, and that shit was awesome. This dude's always been awesome.
Yeah, shout out Mikey Whipwreck, man. I'm he legit might be my MVP for 1995 ECW. Deadass. His whole year has just been great. But I've been enjoying that a lot. Haven't been watching a ton of modern stuff. I've been filling out the match log, though. Gotta go to that CMLL Homenaje a Dos Leyendas, because they ran Death Riders versus El Sky Team. And Claudio versus Hechicero. So I got a lot to catch up on, but I think once I finish 95 ECW, I will take a sabbatical, and I will just hammer out current stuff.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited to see that. Did I watch anything current? No, I don't watch anything current. I've only seen clips of what's been happening on the Raw, SmackDown leading up to Mania, but I'm honestly not even excited for Mania. It's really weird for me to say around this time.
Yeah, I'll just take a moment, because I've just been watching the Punk Roman segments after they air, because I was excited for it at first, but they went in a weird direction with it. It doesn't feel like anybody's on the same page, and
it just feels all mismatched.
Yeah, and I'm just how do you manage to fuck that up? You know what I mean? What are we doing here?
And now it's are they making Punk the heel now, or what the hell's going on? Now Jey Uso is going to be the head of the table. Nobody's asking for that, by the way.
No. It's not good. But there's been some more Mania Week announcements. The Bloodsport card starting to really take shape. They're doing another Thatcher Charlie Dempsey match, obviously this time under Bloodsport rules with no ropes. And they're doing Pete Dunne versus Masashi Takeda, which if you ever thought in your life you'd see a Pete Dunne Masashi Takeda match, I doubt you're real. because that is way out of left field.
Yeah, I'm definitely locking in for the collective.
Yeah, which
definitely locking into Joey Janela Spring Break. I need to see Sandman versus the Invisible Man.
Same. But we'll preview that. I think we got like 3 weeks.
I think like 2.5 weeks, maybe.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
the 19th, 18th, 19th.
Yep. So yeah, it sounds about right. But it's crazy how time's going. But to make up for the I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'll just say, but it's time for us to shift focus to our weekly discussion. That being All Elite Wrestling and the ongoings on AEW Dynamite. This week coming from St. Paul, Minnesota. General thoughts. I thought this was a more balanced episode from last week because clearly they were shorthanded coming off of Revolution, and they really needed to pick up the pace here with the Dynasty build because is next week go home? No, 2 weeks.
No. We got 2 weeks, yeah.
We have 2 TVs left still. The 2 TVs left, you got to throw this whole card together. But we have a main event now, and we have a clear direction for some of the other big names. So stuff to build around. So I was happy to see that kind of housekeeping. Chris, what are your general thoughts on this week in AEW?
Not their strongest Dynamite, in my opinion, but not their worst either. Good opener, closer, a good opener and good ending. But I just feel like a lot of parts were very not needed. Not a lot, but a lot of promo. It's promo heavy. This was very promo heavy.
Yeah. I will also add, I did cram Collision in this morning. I forgot to mention that in the What Have We Been Watching. But since it is AEW, I don't think it's too out of place for me to share. They did the 1 hour Saturday, 1 hour Sunday of taped Collision and aired it around the March Madness tournament. I would say, personally, nothing must see.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything, like, looking at the card. I didn't really see anything that stuck out to me to want to tune in and watch it. Like, there was something on there I did want to see. I forgot what it was.
So I went out of my way for Robbie Eagles, Kyle Fletcher, which was good. Really good Fletcher performance. It was nice to see TMDK in the house. Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste were with Robbie, and there's been some rumors that they might actually be signing soon.
TMDK in the...
Yeah, specifically because like they're under New Japan contract, but I just think New Japan is not booking them.
They better book them in Chicago when I'm there, or when we're there, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they did put them in the G. They at least put Mikey Nichols in the G1 a couple of years ago, but we'll see. Because that show might just be straight up 10 singles matches.
Nah, I'm cool with that. Give me that.
Yeah, because it's opening night, and they usually get everybody out there in the blocks. So I got my tickets, by the way. You got your tickets as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's another newsworthy thing. Applying all goes well. The Underhook should be in full representation at the opening night of the G1 Climax tournament, which is somehow in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Just an insane thing, but it'll be awesome to be part of history because that is a really big deal.
Pumped.
Yes. So back to Collision though. Eagles Fletcher was good. If not, like, it wasn't blow away great, but I thought it was a nice TV match. It's what you want out of a TV title defense, you know. Death Riders versus Commander and Mascara Dorada was fun, but again, not blow away great. And on Sunday, I watched Ciampa Leo Rush. I'm not feeling the current Leo Rush stuff, I'll be real.
Yeah. A little weird.
Yeah.
Not for me. Not for me. I love Leo Rush, but
that's the thing. Like, I'd rather him just, like, be Leo Rush and not Blackheart, but they're giving it a shot, so we'll see where it goes.
But it's really weird though, because like this is definitely a different form of a Blackheart though.
Yeah, like he's not coming out like with the black ooze dripping. Like he's like just coming to the ring laughing, and like he did that crazy look a bunch, and it's like, okay, we know you do the crazy look, but like get back to like being Leo Rush.
Yeah, say Lashley, no,
not that Leo Rush, but
not that Leo Rush. That's right. You know what we mean.
Yeah, exactly. Last match on Collision I got to was Takeshita El Clone and Alexander challenging Jet Speed and Mystico. I mean, that was a lot of fun. If not, I wasn't say I would let down by it, but I think the ceiling on that on paper is a lot higher than what we actually got. But it's just, I'm really loving this Mystico Jet Speed team, and I hope that they get, just consistent bookings and defenses like this. So
I heard Alexander probably got hurt that match too. I don't know how true that is, though, but...
he wasn't too heavy of a focus, so maybe.
I just read maybe somewhere, but I forgot.
Yeah, which that would suck if he is. But if you are booking the Don Callis family though, they also have like 5,000 people in, so you could just rotate somebody else in who hasn't been on. Which we could talk about that a little bit later.
But we are absolutely talking about that later.
All right, stick a pin in that. Dynamite opens with they're getting the big guns out with this Swerve Kenny match. I was just assuming this would go on last with the kind of the stakes and how they've. This was almost like a mini feud, if you will, where
It's like a subplot.
yeah, they used the first match to write Kenny off, and now they're using the second match to put him in position to challenge MJF. I didn't think this was bad. I thought this, like, I enjoyed this. I do think tonally it missed the mark. Like, these two had no right locking up.
Yeah, no, you come out swinging.
Like, he hits you with the vertebreaker / cop killer through the announce table. Like, come on, Kenny. Like, get in there. But it did ramp up. It was funny, too, because I watched this on Max this morning. And then after the baseball today, I just pulled up the DVR because we still have that.
Happy opening day for all those celebrate.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna talk about it.
I don't think. Yeah, neither of our
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. But just moving forward, it's wrestling time. Let's go.
Yep. From one disappointment to the next, right? But,
Yeah.
it was funny though. When I'm fast forwarding through this, it either looked like every freeze frame was either these two were on the top rope or going for like a one wing angel setup. So I'm like, hey, like shout out for consistency. But it did ramp up with a lot of building tension with a lot of the scary falls and a lot of the shit on the apron. Swerve really did pull out the big guns though. He did that barricade pile driver.
Hard. I got terrified when they were both on the top rope because I saw Kenny Omega shaking. I said, "This is terrifying. Just call an audible."
Mm-hmm.
But no, I like this match though. I like the callback to what Swerve's attire though. That was pretty. I didn't know it until I saw it online though. I'm not trying to like say like, "Oh yeah, I'm smart." No, someone pointed that out to me online.
What was the callback?
So it was the his coat or his attire that he came out in was the same attire that Kenny Omega had when he faced him.
Oh, okay, cause I just skipped entrances. I'll be real.
But yeah, okay, yeah. So like Swerve came out in this like jacket and it was the same one that Kenny was wearing when I think at Dynasty, whenever they fought. I don't know when they wrestled.
Their TV match a couple months ago.
I don't remember when it was though. It was just a call. I just know that Kenny Swerve. I seen a picture. If I can see it, I'll send it to you later.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. They did as far as the context of this feud. You know, Swerve tried going back to the vertebreaker and it didn't work, which I appreciated that. Kenny overcoming that because it's a whole different story when you're doing it in the ring compared to through the table. And then they just essentially built the final third of this match around Kenny finally pulling off the one wing angel. All fine and good for me. And Kenny Omega is your number one contender for Dynasty, and we'll stick a pin in that because they would have another segment at the top of the second hour. A Darby Allin hype package for later in the night, as well as, you know, because he kind of on the low inserted himself into this title picture, which isn't any less crowded than it was before Revolution. Because while you cycle out Hangman, now Kenny's healthy, now Darby's in the mix, and MJF obviously still is making enemies left and right. Another one that we'll elaborate on in another segment, but cut to Jon Moxley and basically saying to Ospreay to watch his mouth.
Oh yeah, because Ospreay cut that promo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was some pre-tapes between both of them. The Ospreay one did air on Dynamite, right? I'm not getting my wires crossed, or was that Collision?
They might have showed the one from Collision, but they aired it on Dynamite.
Okay.
Where he cuts a promo on Pac, and then right after that's when Mox came out.
Okay, yeah. So Ospreay is pretty much saying, you know, like it's one thing to go after my neck, it's another to do it in front of, like, you know, my wife, kid, and the family. And Moxley's basically just saying, okay, we're gonna talk, watch your mouth. And I didn't know how long they're going to map out this feud, because I think you could have easily ran Pac Ospreay at the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
that is not what we're doing. We're getting it next week, and we're getting Mox at the pay-per-view. No title.
Just straight up grabs.
Just a grudge match. No title match.
That's fine. Beat his ass.
Yep. Now,
I will say, my only gripe with this promo with Will Ospreay, they were way too close.
Yeah.
Way too close to his face. Back it up a little bit.
A little more proximity there.
Yeah. I was like, I don't need to be all of my guy's face right now.
Back in like the Xbox Live days where you're breathing into the mic and into the lobby, you know?
Yeah, it's like, calm it down.
They got some pop filters on there. They'll be all right. But yeah, Mox Ospreay at the pay-per-view, no title. Interesting to think about considering the connotations of a Death Riders match when you slap on the Continental title rules versus otherwise, because now you can do all the Death Riders bullshit. I think if you're positioning Will Ospreay as the number one babyface in the company, I don't mind having Death Riders interference because it's just more odds for him to beat.
Yeah.
And if you want Moxley to go over, you have, like Ospreay, you know what I mean? Like there's avenues here. Yeah, so out of that, out of the Moxley promo, we get to their match, which this was announced the day of a mixed tag 3-on-3.
Yeah, it took me a second to realize why.
Mm-hmm. Skyflight and Zeta Steel. Skyflight, hometown.
Yeah, I'm always cool with that, man. Whatever. Get the hometown pop.
Yeah, I feel like the last time that Top Flight was on Dynamite, it was the same scenario where it's like, oh yeah, get him out there. And I'm like, we're like in year 5 of this with Top Flight. I feel like
we could use, Private Party at any point in this, but it's cool.
Yeah, they kind of disappeared too after coming back.
They cut one promo after that where they were like, sounded like they were going to be heels, and I was happy, and then nothing happened.
They got put in a blunt rotation match on Collision, I want to say last week, where it was like LFI, them, and 2 other teams. So we'll see what the Collision card looks like if they taped it, but I actually think it's live in Iowa, so we won't.
Damn.
Anyways.
I mean, it's going to be a good show, though. Usually the live collisions are always good.
Yeah. I think that Top Flight have worked Moxley enough to where they have established chemistry. I thought we saw more of that here. I've been enjoying Garcia and Yuta just being little shitheads since Garcia turned.
Beavis butthead.
Garcia's gotten a lot more time, right? Got a lot more time as a tag worker in this run too. So I didn't think he felt out of place by any means. And to keep Marina relevant after maybe a couple losses she shouldn't have had, feeding Zeta Steel to her, I had no problem with.
Yeah, no. Zeta Steel is the lady that was in the WWE ID thing, right? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah, and then she never re-upped, and AEW came calling right away.
And then she replaced Layla Gray when Layla, whatever her name is, right? Gray?
Yeah, Layla Gray, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't really mind. I never mind a good, it wasn't a squash match, so I won't call it a squash match, but like a good, what's the word? Not even enhancement. I don't even know just a regular exhibition match.
This was just a perfectly fine TV match to kind of just keep the Death Riders hot and get people who haven't been on TV out there. Zeta, I've not seen a lot of her work for a while. She was on the first Marigold tour when that company formed, and I could tell that there was a lot of work to be done, but I mean, 2 years later, she's clearly worked on a lot. I don't know if I have a fully fledged opinion on her based off of this type of match by any means, but maybe one to watch in the future, because I mean, they seem pretty excited about bringing her in, and I know she's on ROH a lot.
For sure. Yeah, I didn't mind this match though. Pretty good to kind of continue on with the Ospreay promo, continuation into that. But just a good TV match. Marina needs something after that loss.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man. I don't know if, like, the thing that I feel like that they haven't really done with Moxley, like, 'cause I always thought we'd get a Moxley-Bryan tag run, and we never did, like an actual one. I like the idea of Mox and Garcia if you wanted something fresh, because I'll tell you what, man, the Scorpion Deathlock stomp
into that curb stomp is disgusting.
Looks fucking awesome.
Like, yeah, if they keep doing, I said the same thing. I said, and because remember that one time when Garcia turned, he tried doing that, and he, like, the move, and he missed, like,
yeah.
If he can perfect that, I think that would be badass for him to finish. Used to like just
But yeah, like
sit.
where you're suspending them by their arms.
Yeah, you're doing like
Yeah.
the Super Dragon stomp, more or less.
Yes, it's a Super
Yeah.
Dragon. Yeah.
So like, but shut off Super Dragon. But yeah, I would fuck heavy with that team.
Yeah. I just think looking forward, it doesn't feel like any time to mess with the Death Riders. You know, I think that came and went. So I think in the meantime, especially if you do get this belt off of Moxley around Double or Nothing, I mean, he's Mr. Reliable. I think you could do some cool stuff in the tag division with the Death Riders. And the tag division is going to need some work. Let's be real. With what they're once we're out of what they're doing, I'll board it like that.
Anyway,
Speaking of, Bucks pretty much did a pre-tape saying they want to become a they want to win the belts for the fourth time. It's at the record. I'm sure that will happen.
You already know what it's setting up for.
Yeah, it'll happen. We just have to wait like 4 months.
I already see, you know. It's going to be that ladder match, you know.
We called it last year.
If they don't, like, it writes itself. The Bucks already faced the Hardys in ladder matches. Come on, man. I think it doesn't even have to be a ladder match, in all fairness.
They're going to
gimmick it up, though, for sure.
They're going to do the TLC tribute for sure. Yeah. And, like, I'm sure they'll shoehorn in that, like, all the crazy matches the Bucks have done in that time, whether it was Escalera de la Muerte or, like, all the shit in PWG, stuff like that. So, or even, like, you know, the Hardys tag WrestleMania weekend. Like,
the Guerrilla Warfare match with Candice LeRae and nobody else. Yeah, that one.
You know what's funny? I think one of my favorite blogs, Handwork, they did a whole decade deep dive of the 2010s during the pandemic. And when that match was like listed as match of the decade, like he only listed it as the Young Bucks versus Candice LeRae.
That's all I ever see.
Same wavelength, right?
That's all I ever see, bro. Redacted.
Yeah, great blog.
Also, like to go back, not too far back to the Death Riders. So are we going back to them being heels again? If Mox is going against Ospreay,
yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
they're heels again.
Cool.
But it's a different flavor though, because like Moxley's like big leaguing him.
Yeah.
He's not being like terrorist Moxley. He's being just like dick.
Yeah, like bullying him more or less. Not even bullying, just like whatever, you know.
Yeah, like he's like cool guying him almost, and I think that's it's definitely an interesting way to go with it. So I think the match will rule though. I'm gonna rewatch the Chicago match.
It's my favorite wrestler. Well, currently favorite wrestler. Glad he's back, and the Ace. So I mean,
that's like, to me, that's like the biggest match they can run right now. So
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to rewatch the match that I believe we were both in attendance for a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Windy City Riot show was one of my... Yeah, that one.
What a night.
That show was... I was literally so... When Ospreay did the table spot...
Like the phenomenal forearm where he cleared the barricade?
Yeah, I was literally like maybe like 10 seats over or something like that.
I was in the bleachers, but like there was no bad seat in that room, man.
Shout out the Odium.
Sky Point, dude. My first and only time, unfortunately.
I've been there for a couple of ROH shows. I was there for a Global War show one time, which was pretty sweet.
That's really cool, yeah.
That was the first time I got to see Minoru there. Yeah, no, that match ruled. That whole night ruled.
That was a great night. I
need to go back and watch that whole card, actually.
Because the Suzuki Ishii match was incredible.
Yeah, that was just dudes being dudes, you know?
It was the dudes rock match of the night for sure.
No, my match was the Brody King and
Jonah and all that.
Yeah.
Bro, Scott Norton was on that card.
Yeah, fuck he was. And he had the New Balances. He had New Balances. I remember. I said, my man's rocking the New Balances. Yeah. Oh, I'm down. I gotta go back and watch that. I'm watching that tonight, dude. I'm locking in.
Tap in at Windy City Riot 2022.
God, that show was so awesome, dude.
I had just a moment where, like, when we got in the building, like, we were a little bit late. I think we were, like, in the first match, second match. or no, like we got in there late because like the line was wrapped around the whole building. But it was like the dark match and the first match while we were like actually filing in. So like, let's just go to concession stand now and then we'll be good. And I'm just like sitting there in this dark indoor soccer arena with a Modelo the size of my head watching Yuji Nagata in person. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe there is more to life. Like, I should be living like this all the time.
Yeah, dude, that was my first, I think, actual, like, New Japan show. Like, not like Ring of Honor crossover.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, going in there, like, actually, like, feeling, I don't know, it's just weird. Like, feeling like I was at, like, an actual New Japan, like, a legit in Japan type show, The merch, the merch lot. Like, I love the merch there.
Like the strip down presentation, focusing on the wrestling. Yeah, man. I was like that, dude. I had such a great time that night.
That's it. I was like, man, that was different. I was like, man, the lights felt like I was just at like you're focusing on the show instead of everything else. This is great.
Yeah, I'll use New Japan to segue to their global liaison, who was booked on this show. Rocky Romero's singles match. Let's be real, this was a speedball singles match, and just to keep Jet Speed in the peripheral vision, given that they weren't booked on the show proper. Speedball just blew through Rocky Romero and hit Ultimate Weapon.
Rocky Romero's always a good person to have on your show if you want something to get a good person over,
Yeah, he's a utility player, and he has been for a long time, but he's really good at it. So,
Hongi.
To segue to the MJF segment, and I guess to keep Hangman on your mind, they played the highlights of the Texas Death Match. I don't really know what they're doing here though, because this is the second week off TV. Now that's the type of they stretchered him off. You could write him off if you're ever going to. That's the way to do it. But I'm trying to figure out like how do they reintroduce him into the fold, because there's always that big question of, at least as of now, he cannot challenge again. So do you think he's going to do a run-in at Dynasty? Is he going to cost Kenny inadvertently? Is he going to fuck with Swerve? Like
I don't.
Do you have any guess?
I don't think he cost Kenny inadvertently, but I think he cost Kenny.
Or do you think he just waits till the Owen and says, "Well, what if I win this?"
Or I was thinking, I have a couple of like things. So I'm thinking Swerve's going to cost Kenny the match. Like I think Swerve's going to do a run in, cost Kenny the match. I think that's like my main thing that's going to happen. But I also was thinking like, what if Hangman does come back, he makes a deal with the devil and kind of situation, turns heel-ish. And then, so I don't know. I'm just talking like long term.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of turn that to where he can get a title shot somehow, but I don't know.
Because I think if Hangman's removed from the title picture, I think you gotta do Hangman Swerve at one.
Yeah, that's your next thing there. So I mean, does he cost Kenny the title? Come out to save Kenny? Set up Swerve Hangman at?
That'd be Double or Nothing next.
No, I'm saying like not next. So I'm saying like
just down.
Swerve,
down
so Swerve comes out, costs Kenny the match at the Dynasty,
yeah.
right? And then so that sets up your Kenny and Swerve match again. Maybe then does like Hangman come out to save Kenny? Do you get a triple threat match in Wembley?
Because I think the match now is Ospreay MJF. I think that's what they're doing here.
But yeah, but then you could do Kenny, Hangman, Swerve at the stadium.
Yeah, I guess you could.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the result of this match will be telling, because I'm not outruling.
Or do you do Kenny Hangman?
That's the thing. I'm not outruling that Kenny just doesn't win.
Yeah, I don't think Kenny wins.
I don't either. I think I'm maybe hoping for Kenny to win, but I don't know. We can get into this promo though. I loved Kenny's opening line. He's like, "You have to excuse me, how I'm dressed and how I smell because I had a wrestling match, but what's your excuse?"
Got his ass.
I thought that was just a nice shitty quip to open with, but they're building off of their last match, and that's when Kenny was very much starting to break down from now what we know as his diverticulitis, which is insane. The fact that he was even if you look back at something like the Takeshita match from All Out 2023 and all the wacky shit they were doing in that match, and Kenny was like, his insides are literally like eating themselves. But Kenny, you know, he has looked good in the singles run. He's never going to be the guy he was, but I mean, he's still Kenny Omega. You know what I mean?
He's always he's gonna be the god regardless.
Yeah. So I guess my thoughts are, you know, I'm very much like, I'll see it when I believe it with MJF. I hate that I'm in the space, but I mean, it is what it is. The Revolution match just really turned me off.
That I did not like that death match.
Yeah, we don't have to dwell on that. We don't have to dwell on that.
Like, what's done is done.
Sure.
Like,
I'm talking about this pairing in particular, though. The MJF we got against Kenny Omega way back on Collision in 2023, that was when Max was very much at his, I need to show people that I could do moves. Now, if we get that again in April, I don't know how I will feel about the match. But if he's got his working boots on, we still haven't seen a lot of people working over the diverticulitis. Takeshita did it. I think Okada did it for a little bit in their stadium match, not at Wembley, Texas.
I feel like MJF would be the perfect person to do that.
On paper, he would be. I just don't know which version of MJF is going to show up, and I got a couple weeks to figure that out. But overall, I thought...
Or they also have a couple weeks to show us.
Yes. Overall, though, I thought this was a fine promo. Nothing too bad, nothing too good.
Other than the length of it, I have no issue.
Yeah, MJF just being a shithead, leaving him on the handshake. I thought that worked for what it was. We are getting this contract signing segment next week, though, and it stated that no physicality, but who's to say that it won't be no physicality for just Kenny? So I think that'll give us a better idea. Because if he goes for the stomach in that segment, then we'll know. Like if Kenny's walking in with his ribs taped up, that gives you a visual target for all that feedback to incorporate itself. But yeah, I thought this was fine for what it was.
It wasn't too bad. I think I'm gonna order Dynasty again because having it at HBO Max is just so easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and after All Out, I've had no problems with how they run.
It's been solid, and getting in the theater looks great. So in the summertime, I'm telling y'all, you and Mill slide on over, man. We're good.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to plan for one. This pay-per-view, I believe, is on Orthodox Easter, so I will either be with family or I won't catch this as it airs, because I believe Serbian Orthodox Easter is 12th.
Okay, yeah, it is on the 12th. Yep.
So I will definitely be good for that podcast in a couple of weeks. But I mean, as far as I don't know if I'll be able to watch the show live, but I plan on it. I don't know.
Don't worry, no spoilers.
We're all old now. Now it's not like holidays go all night anymore. But
7 o'clock. Get out,
bro. It's like 4 in these parts these days.
Oh, yeah, true that. You got to hit that leg. Well, it's time.
Yeah. But you get it. But we get this. This is where you were talking about saying this is a promo heavy show because we got like 3 back to back here, starting with MJF Kenny, Christian Cage Edge pre-tape. I do like the dynamic of Christian making it about himself, and particularly his wallet.
Yeah,
he was like, "You did all this bad shit to Edge's wife, but even worse, you did it to me.
You took money out of my wallet."
Yeah, exactly. So I think though between this and the FTR segment afterwards, not to get ahead of ourselves.
We need to get ahead of ourselves because I got something I need to talk about.
I think I might have an idea, but I'm just going to get this point out first. They're making it about the title belts. That's what we're going to hit them the most. No, this is supposed to be a more personal feud. So now I just we're going to take your belts and we're going to end your careers. I'm like, okay, that seems more in line with where this should be tonally. So I thought that was fine. Let's talk about Stokely Hathaway in the 3-6 Mafia hockey jersey.
That's my moment of the night. Sorry, this is my moment of the night, part B. All right, so put a pin on that. He can't. I've never done a faster Google search in my existence of life to figure out if I could buy this jersey. You'll be happy to know on 36mafiamerch.com they had him on there at one point, but they're not on there now. But I'm gonna find one. I am gonna find one.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. That was one of the craziest pulls. And we've seen hardcore band merch on TV. We've seen real deep cut shit on TV.
My man came out in the Hypnotized Minds hockey sweater. Sorry, and need it in my life. I need one.
Yeah, yeah. I am a hockey jersey guy. I mean, I'll say jersey sweaters interchangeable.
Yeah, I don't know. I never know. I'm learning hockey as we go.
Yeah, you're not gonna piss me off by calling it a jersey. I have north of 90 hockey jerseys, and I call them jerseys. So
I just got Mighty Ducks ones because that's the only ones.
Hey, that's a good start.
Straight from the 90s,
Yeah. But one day you're gonna have more than a Mighty Ducks jersey. You're gonna have to hypnotize mine's 3-6 Mafia hockey jersey.
I need that one, and I need a No Limit Soldiers one. That's all I need in life.
Yep. Same. Yeah. But yeah, Stoke in the 3-6 Mafia jersey, crazy work. I popped for that big time.
I couldn't believe my eyes. I literally just said, "This is my." I texted you right away, and I was like, "You'll understand why."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured as such. But yeah, I thought Cash's promo was fine, and they're just saying, "Yeah, we don't care about your friendship. We're living. They're on this run now. Like this is pretty much their last run on top that we know of." Because I believe in 2023 they said they signed their last contract, despite the fact that they did miss some time. So and AEW likes to roll over on that, but neither here nor there. This worked for what it was, even though we're obviously not excited about this match. Orange Cassidy cutting him off early, though. I am interested in FTR against Roddy and Orange.
Yeah, I screamed, "Give me that! Give me this!"
Yeah, they have really good chemistry with Roddy and his kind of roundhouse of partners.
Give me that. But probably a collision match, maybe.
That might be a collision main event. I honestly think you could put that in a pay-per-view undercard, and it would go crazy. I have a lot to say about this Orange Cassidy Roddy team based off of this match with the dogs. Gabe Kidd off TV, right? I mean, I get it. Like he
died. He's in the casket, bro.
They put him under, and also the whole got his ass beat in a straitjacket after being in a car crash. So probably should be selling that. But
yeah, not coming back the next week, perfectly fine.
Now, I get that Orange and Roddy lost this match, so they're not going to be in line for a title shot right away. However, I just want to talk about how this team functions because I think it's actually, like, ridiculously well-rounded is how I would describe it. Because we got a lot of Darby and OC this year, and often how those matches would work is, you're doing the Darby Death formula into the Orange Cassidy hot tag. That's just, that's tag structure right there, right?
Yeah.
Here they flipped it to where Orange is on the other side of control, and then you got Rod Dogg waiting for the hot tag, and then that Roddy Strong hot tag, you know what you're getting out of that. He's going to just beat ass.
The wrestling fan in me was like, that hot tag coming. He's about to beat Orange Cassidy's ass. I still think it's coming.
Eventually, but for now, as this team functions, though, like...
No, I fuck with it. I love this, but...
I really like what they have here, and I think you can do... I know that they've been doing this Roddy 1 foot in, 1 foot out since the fall, but like specifically with these two, I want them to ride this out for a couple of months. I really do. I think it gives Orange something to do that isn't necessarily like sticking him in a singles title scene. Gives Roddy more of a feature because he had a really good 2025, but he wasn't at the forefront of very much. So I think this is a really good spot for them. And the dogs needed a win, so I have no problem with Orange taking a pin here.
I love that lawn dart DDT thing.
Yeah, it's badass.
Yeah, I love this team, though. I fuck with it.
Yeah, and I really think whether it's Gabe Kidd or Clark Connors, you could do Freebird's rules with David Finlay if you want to go that direction, too. I think Dogs FTR would be sick too. I just don't know how you get there right away with a heel versus heel. The thing is like my issue with the tag division right now, it's so easy to just shit on like the Edge and Christian stuff. Don't get me wrong. But it almost feels like it's like locked everybody else out.
Kind of like a similar situation when you're locking like the women's belts up together, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like you can't do anything now, but just wait.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're saying, okay, feature David Finlay and the dogs more. Give OC and Roddy a tag push. We talked about stuff on the Death Rider scene that we think you could pump this into the tag division and heat and, just in general elevate it, heat it up. we talk about Private Party not having nothing to do. And unless you're going to build like genuine 2-on-2 feuds like they did with like when it was Darby and OC, obviously they've kind of not pivoted, but flipped it into Roddy and OC. Darby's off with the Don Callis family feud. Like, there's exciting things you could be doing, and you could have a hot tag scene again. I just do not see them getting there until this Edge and Christian Young Bucks FTR stuff's all over and done with.
Yeah, once that wraps up, you'll be able to open your tag team division up more. I mean, you can still do it now, though. Like, build it up as you're doing that.
Yeah, maybe we'll get there. Because, I mean, it's not like they haven't done just straight up tag matches on pay-per-view before. But you need to start, like, giving it more consideration. I guess that's the way I would put it.
Yeah. What was I was going to say something. Never mind. Not important.
More promos are next.
Yeah, that's right. The Dominion. I cannot remember their name ever.
Yeah, Bane and Cross are just, they had another match on Collision. And they're kind of, they're still establishing them as a team despite the fact that they're champions. But this Saturday, they are doing a rematch. Babes of Wrath against Divine Dominion, which seems a bit soon. And I don't know if maybe this means that Harley and Willow are going to split, whether that means one of them are turning. I don't think you should turn Harley Cameron right now.
I think Harley's super over. Don't turn any of them. Just do a mutual breakup.
Yeah, just a mutual split. Get Willow back on track with her own title. If you did turn Harley, I would just put her with the Iconics.
Please do that. Please.
I would. They could do all kind of, like, I say this affectionately, goofy bullshit.
Entertaining bullshit. That's what I call it.
Yeah, like that'd be a lot of fun. But if you're just gonna do an amicable split, this women's division needs baby faces right now, man. I don't think you got to be turning anybody, especially with Toni Storm out indefinitely, but not like.
Especially since your champions are heels, so you even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, Tony's out, but apparently she's okay. So people, I mean, this happens every time like a women's wrestler is out indefinitely. People like are
instantly with like the baby, but
assuming if she's having a baby, which if she is, hey, good for her and Juice, congratulations. The pride and joy of Joliet, Illinois,
A shout out. Yeah, not you, Vertigo. But I heard that, and I heard like she got like a movie role maybe.
Yeah, whatever she's doing, we just hope she's well. But that is a huge loss because they were able to actually accomplish feuds outside of titles, giving her interesting things to do. She really is that ace figure, and now she's just
that Marina match was so badass.
That too. Yep. So that's a huge loss, but hope she's well.
Oh, Tony.
Next promo, because we just had two in a row here. Kyle Fletcher pre-tape saying, like he's in a weird spot. I'll say that much. Because they stuck the TNT title on him again. He was like, I want to be the best TNT champion, but I also want to be world champion. So he's like, but then he brings Takeshita back into the fold. And that's another tag team you could be doing stuff with. But it's like, there's only so much Fletch to go around,
Yeah. Where do you think they're going to go with this? You still think they're going to do the triple threat?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you had to put the belt on Takeshita for them all to kind of have that tension and the visual. I'm not outruling it, because who's to say that Mox doesn't lose that belt before Double or Nothing or Wembley? If anything, they're probably just going to run Okada Takeshita at Wembley at this rate, if they're really taking their time with it still. I have no idea, though. But again, though, if you're doing Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita as a team, which, I mean, let's be real, that would be a babyface team at this rate. It's kind of the same problem that we just talked about a couple of minutes ago. But I feel like we're going to get him and MJF at some point. I just don't know when. But I don't know, will that be in this reign? Will it be down the line? Who's to say? But I think we'll get that match later this year, if not early next year.
I definitely say next year. Year. I thought it was going to be this year for sure. I thought this year was. I'm still not out of the question that it could be Kyle Fletcher's year.
Yeah, because something else to consider that I should have done this a while ago. Might not get the Owen until later in the year because All In is in August and not July.
I mean, they did move everything around.
Yeah, because they do that holiday weekend in England whenever they run Wembley. So schedule's going to be a little bit different. So I don't think we're going right into the Owen out of Dynasty. I would be shocked.
You think wins Fletch?
I still think it's Ospreay. And they might even do Ospreay Fletcher in the final again.
That would set up. And then, yeah. But we'll see. Only time will tell.
I think the final's going to be either Ospreay Fletcher again or Ospreay Moxley.
My vote would be Ospreay Mox here.
Yeah.
Depending on how it goes, you know what I'm saying? How the rest of this goes.
Yeah. Got plenty of time for that. But semi-main event, Mina stepping up to challenge Tekla off of her win against Marina, which, by the way, for those keeping track at home, still haven't really mentioned that Ronda Rousey appearance.
Yeah.
So for now, we're just going along with this. But I'll tell you what, man.
Did you see the interview she did, though?
No, I did not.
She said that she liked showing up for AEW's pay-per-view because it felt like a grown-up WWE, and this was a fuck you to TKO. So maybe that's why she's not as been talked about on TV. You know, maybe it could be because of that. You know, I could be.
Is she still fighting in UFC, though, or is she doing another promotion?
She's doing another promotion.
That would make sense.
Hey, I don't think it was UFC. She for sure said F you to TKO.
Okay, that makes way more sense now. Okay. But regardless, Tekla defending against Mina, I actually like this. I thought this was one of Tekla's stronger defenses outside of the Chris stuff, primarily because these two are familiar with each other. They spent a couple years together in Stardom, and I think because of that familiarity, there's really not a feeling out process here, and they were like really laying in with their strikes.
Yeah, I meant to ask you I was gonna wait till tonight anyway. If these two had ever wrestled outside of AEW, because they did seem to have like really good chemistry. Like there were some hiccups, but I mean, as any match.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so yes, they were in Stardom for 3-4 years together. Never in the same faction, but Stardom's very faction based to where everybody kind of wrestles everybody in tags on like house shows and stuff like that. So they've definitely had ring time together, and I think this showed. Because I just thought they were clicking immediately. I did think they kind of they blew through some of their big guns early, like Mina doing a top rope DDT like at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, she said, "I got my signature move already. I'm just gonna hurry."
Yeah, so I was like, damn, maybe you say that for later stages. Overall, I thought this was a fine TV defense. Maybe something Tekla needed. But the question still remains the same. What are we doing with this belt?
I think that Tony injury might have messed it up, but I don't know how. But
yeah, because Mercedes is kind of in the background losing all of her belts.
And then
she's still working. She just hasn't been on TV.
I mean, is she going to be the one that attacked Tony? But why, though? Tony didn't have the belt, so there'd be no motive for Mercedes to attack Tony. But then I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a heel Mina. By the way, I think Mina's too good with the crowd. She has too heavy of a music.
Yeah, she's tried it before, and they never really went anywhere in Japan. But I think if she went heel, she'd have to be in like a stable or something.
Bring in Maki Ito, or bring back Maki Ito. That's what the crowd wants.
Well, she was a part of the first working partnership with Tokyo Joshi Pro. Now she is signed by Stardom, who is their, working partner. So she might be around during Forbidden Door season.
Love it. That's what the crowd wants. Makihausen.
Maki death kill, dude. But yeah, Tekla defends by cheating, should mention. So maybe this is just going to be the feud for the pay-per-view because they simply don't have anybody else ready to go. Because you got 2 weeks.
That makes the most sense.
Right.
Just run it back. I mean, nobody would be mad about it, It's just, it makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing else you do. There's nobody else you're going to come up in 2 weeks.
Yeah. But, more pre-tapes before we get to the main event. Renee interviewing Kenny, which, again, she broke the news about the contract signing. And also just a random speedball interaction where he, kind of bigged up Kenny, but it was, cool.
They're for sure keeping Speedball and Kevin. They've been doing this a lot with Kevin Knight, too. Keeping them fresh in our minds, which I'm cool with. Keep them on TV.
Yeah, 100%.
Bring Mystico.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still figuring out and they're probably still figuring out, too, how frequent we are going to see him, just because, there's been weeks where he's worked 3 shows a week in Mexico.
That's insane.
He'll main event Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. or sometimes at the very least Tuesday and Friday. So like, and they run 2 shows a night on Tuesday. Like they run one in Mexico City and they run in Guadalajara. So like the CMLL hybrid contracts, I'm still getting a grasp for just because they have such a busy schedule. They're working the same places every week, but they're still like the numbers, those add up fast.
And did you see? We didn't talk about Claudio losing his belt.
No, he lost it in the main event of Homenaje a Dos Leyendas, so maybe freeze him up for a little bit more. But at the same time, it's not like they've been using Claudio on Dynamite every week.
From what I've been gathering, though, he's been a real asshole in CMLL, and I love it.
Well, he actually got a dual contract himself, which I believe is the first time we've actually seen an AEW wrestler sign a.
Yeah, we talked about that.
A dual contract. Yeah, I believe we talked about that last week. So I'm sure he'll be around more. I want to see Death Riders in more like traditional 3-on-3 matches down there, just because I think the formula fits them so well. Like Death Riders El Sky team, you could do all kind of cool stuff with that. So we're made to be seen. Yeah, Hechicero, the heavyweight champion of the promotion right now.
Oh, our fucking guy.
Yep, the Alchemist. We did get one more promo. One that I was, we got one more promo. One that I was very happy to see. Ricochet's on our TVs, so nothing to worry about.
We're back.
And he did like a pseudo kayfabe apology type of thing. I don't know if they like made him do that or if it was to do like a rug pull type of thing because he was apologizing for something completely unrelated to the off-screen drama. But I mean, you do want to keep it on screen with everything. But I'm sure we'll get a Jack Perry singles return match, and I really think that's just what the match should have been to begin with instead of the Battle Royal. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I don't know why they did the Battle Royal in the first place. If the end game was just going to still be Ricochet getting thrown out by Jack Perry,
Yeah, so...
And I'm all good with Jack Perry being on TV all the time, so... It's my dog right there.
And I think, to give him the benefit of the doubt, making him a babyface again, just kind of letting him do his thing, it's the most I've enjoyed him in years, so I'd just say keep doing what they're doing in that regard.
You know why I think that is, too? It's because they're not forcing him down our throats. Like, they're not, in a sense, like, they're not trying to, force him to be a heel or force, you know what I'm saying? He's just...
Yeah, that was just a failed experiment. And I get that that's gonna happen with every promotion.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider that this AEW is very young, still. No, go ahead.
Do you think the heel Jack Perry would have worked if Brawl Out didn't happen? Like, if none of that happened. Like, if it was just regular, because they were turning Jack Perry heel during that time.
Yeah, they turned him heel anyways.
Yeah, so, do you think that would have worked out, or do you think that he's just better off as a face in general?
I absolutely think he's better off as a face, but I don't think we ever got to see the full picture, because he was like Hollywood Jack Perry before he's a scapegoat, and I actually liked the hook match that started the whole mess. Like the limo spot and they had that street fight before they went on the air, like the dark match.
Yeah. I
remember actually enjoying that match. And I remember he came out to the shitty classical music, which not shitting on Mozart, but for his character, it was so clear that they were making these decisions. It was bad on purpose.
Yeah.
The whole he's so far up his own ass, he's coming out to Mozart, and it's where he shouldn't be. It's a what if, but no, I just think his wrestling style is tailored to being a babyface.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's always just one of those what ifs,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for the classical music thing. I was care for that. I was always just wondered, and then when he came back as a scapegoat, I was like, okay, this could go one of two ways, and it went the exact way I didn't want it to go. But I'm glad where we're at now.
I'll put it to you like this, because this is kind of how I felt about not only Jack Perry, but about the Bucks when they did the EVP gimmick. Or the hostile takeover gimmick. I think that had you have done that, and Punk was either suspended, but still under contract, or just still in the company and you actually built towards something, I think it all would have worked. But I just think that they're actively shooting themselves in the foot to be we are heels now while all anti-CM Punk sentimentality registered as babyface amongst a big percentage of the AEW.
Yeah.
I still think of them booking Jack Perry versus Bryan Danielson in the Chicago area to try to capitalize on that heat. But I really think everybody got it out of their systems at the New Japan show. Like, besides, like, you know, we always talk about how, like, sure, like, there was those pockets of people getting into it, but it was just, like, there wasn't, like, any sort of, like, by the time that the entrances were all done, like, nobody cared, like, nobody was thinking about CM Punk. They were watching the match, which, like, and I just never knew what they were trying to do with the Punk stuff. Because airing the footage never, like, I think that was a horrible idea.
That was dumb.
That was dumb as shit. And then it was like,
as a business standpoint, that's just horrible.
And it just felt like they wouldn't let it go, you know. And so I think you needed to just go clean slate. And even though even though like I'm not huge on the whole Bucks, FTR, Edge, and Christian stuff, I'd prefer to have the Bucks where they are at now. I think it all worked out from an AEW standpoint, I should say.
I never, again, Chicago thing where when he came out, like you said, that no one after that, no one cared. It was just the match. That was it.
They booed the Bucks more than they booed Jack Perry.
Yeah.
If that tells you anything.
I just remember that CM Punk fan cussing me out, and I was like, dude, I'm a CM Punk fan too. I'm just trying to, I'm just cheering.
Yeah, you're rattling the cages a little bit. You're stirring shit.
I'm like, I'm just talking shit, man.
Yeah, so. But yeah, I think, point being though, have them both. I'll have the Bucks and Perry where they're at now compared to where we were 2 years ago. Yeah. So to answer your
it's such a better experience.
Yes, that was a very long-winded answer, but that's my answer. Sorry about that.
Sometimes we go off on tangents.
Yeah. Now we get into the real shit.
Put the kids to bed. This was the Underhook match of the night.
This is my favorite televised match of the year thus far. I think the only thing that has competition with was Darby Pack.
Nah, bro, mine was Speedball and Fletch. Wasn't that
that's
on TV?
Fair.
Yeah,
it was, and that's fair. That's fair. I get that completely. Darby Allin, man, the year he's putting together already is crazy. I cannot believe that they just decided we're gonna take the guy who is the best at fucking dying every single week with probably the most notorious ass beater on the roster.
They made this for us. They do one match for us every night, all right?
Yeah.
And it always involves Darby Allin.
Well, yeah, I mean, shit, the Gabe Kidd match, all the tags, like, and then obviously the Pac match that was either January or February. I mean, he just does his thing, and it works so well. So when you do put an absolute killer like Rush, especially like Rush, who hasn't been in a big singles match like this in a long time, so he almost kind of carries in this reputation ahead of him, where it's like, oh fuck, like when this graphic dropped, I just thought in my head, what on earth are they gonna do? Like, scary ceiling to this match, I would say, and I'm not sure what Minnesota's laws are because Darby. He bled, but it was off of the Band-Aid on his forehead. So, like, they had a natural way to it. But I think we can go down the list of some of the wilder things in this match. Darby almost shattering his kneecaps, being thrown over the steps into the barricade.
He loves that bump.
That's
his favorite. I think he perfected this thing somehow to where it just doesn't hurt him or something, because he loves doing that bump.
Maybe some sleight of hand because it's like the barricade is breaking his fall, but I'm like, bro, don't break your fucking legs when you're doing that.
But then, I don't know how much longer in the match, he does it again in the corner. There's no give there.
Oh, the belly to belly into the corner? That's not something uncommon, right? But you usually see it where you're landing into the bottom of the turnbuckle.
He's landed on the top row.
His lumbar went square into the top turnbuckle, and he just crashes down, dude. I couldn't believe that. He's like, well, let's do this like 10 degrees or 20 degrees higher angle.
Hey, yeah, and you remember that bump outside the ring I just took? We're gonna do that inside. We're gonna kick it up a notch.
But worse. Yeah, man. That was gross. He put the suicide dive because Rush kind of hit the nope spot on him, and the cameras missed it. But when they did the reverse angle on the replay, Darby was just like, yeah, I'm just going to torpedo myself from the ring to the floor with nothing in between.
You move out the way. I got it.
He's like, I got this. You just look cool. But some pro wrestling sensibility, as always, with Darby matches isn't just the demolition spots. He caught Roosh hot dog and he was doing the tranquilo pose and just went right after him and just starts throwing punches. I love that bit.
The trading blows spot. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, Roosh didn't pull a damn thing on his side of the physicality. And even some of the... Go ahead.
The post-ups of him kicking Darby in the face. Like, in the head.
I think Roosh saw that Band-Aid and he goes, yeah, we're going to get rid of that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, let's get that out. Let's get that out of here.
I was worried he was, like, performing a skin graft with his boot.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I'm glad I ended up watching this on my DVR recording instead of Max, because the Max replays, they don't show picture-in-picture. They only show, like, hard ad breaks in those spots. Because there was some transitional stuff in this match that somebody might have missed if they didn't have the picture-in-picture. Like, we've seen the apron coffin drop before, but they did this modified version where, like, Roosh is hunched over the top rope. So Darby's essentially crashing his spine into Roosh's spine and bouncing off onto the floor.
I need to go
in
back.
picture-in-picture.
I don't get picture-in-picture, so that pisses me off now. Oh, man. I need to see that spot.
I'll try to find it. Try to find something floating around for you, because I was genuinely baffled that was a routine transitional spot while they're on commercial for a lot of people, because the visual, and they did it from the overhead camera too.
That sounds. So it's kind of like when the Bucks do that pile driver where he bounces off and then, but essentially it's Darby bouncing off of Roosh's back,
bouncing himself off. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Darby. You're one of the real ones.
Yeah, and then when they talk about how they kind of still ground it in conventional pro wrestling sensibility, I think Darby needed to win this match somehow. How do you get there with the flash pin? And I really thought Roosh was just going to kick out. Like, it was so in the moment. It was so fast. But Darby, having that window, flipped the jackknife real quick. I thought for a second he was going for like the, I can't remember what Darby calls it, but there's like Zack Sabre Jr.'s cremation lily.
It's the Josh knows the name of it. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, just the little cradle pin, right?
Yeah, where he like crosses the legs. Last Supper, he called it Last Supper.
I was like last something. I was gonna say Last Rites, but yeah.
I was thinking of Zack Sabre Jr.'s cremation lily. It might be a similar move. But like he like almost went for it, but then Roosh struggled out of it, so then Darby goes, fuck it, I have to roll you up. Goes into the jackknife, squeaks out the victory, and I'm like, yes, that's tremendous pro wrestling. This match fucking ruled, dude. We knew it would. I mean,
when you sent me the graphic, I said, yeah, he's doing this for us. TK knows us.
Yeah,
and we
weren't done yet because they're keeping up with our discourse every week about our GOAT.
Yeah, let me tell you something. First off,
let me give you the floor here for how we went off the air.
Yeah, first off, we got Darby Allin just sitting on the apron, chilling, after just getting his ass beat by Roosh. Here comes Mark Davis, no clipping, out of nowhere, just picks Darby Allin up like a child and gives him to close your eyes on the floor after Darby just got hit with a drive-by in the ring. He got hit with a drive-by outside the ring. And then the GOAT of GOATs comes up behind while Mark Davis is sitting there. I'll have you handle this part, bud.
Lance Archer dressed to the nines.
Woo! The GOAT.
Arm still in a cast.
Doesn't matter.
But that don't mean his other arm's in a cast.
When you're a swag lord.
To go off of the air, in the sunglasses, with the chain out.
To send us home happy.
Chokeslam on his tippy toes from like 8 feet in the air. Essentially end this beat down to Darby and we go off of the air. But for us to get Lance Archer minutes, even while he's injured, yeah, dude.
I said, there was no need for them to end it with Archer, Chokeslam, and Darby. They could have ended it with Mark Davis hitting Close Your Eyes. But hey, thank you. Thank you, AEW.
Yeah, so I was definitely riding the high off of that ending. But overall, yeah, it was definitely a promo-heavy show. But I mean,
they did show a lot of Andrade not wanting to be involved, though.
Yeah, because he wasn't too thrilled about what was going on. I do think, though, if we do get Darby versus Andrade at the pay-per-view, oh boy, I think some Wrestler of the Year conversations are going to be heating up.
You give me that match, and I'm talking Underhook, or I'm talking my match of the night, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because Andrade's been on a run. Darby's just likes to die. So okay, cool. He'll die. He has proven that he'll die for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's where we're heading, right? I mean,
Well, due to this agreement, yeah, the business deal, yep, absolutely. And I mean, top three, like as far as like how you're building your card, when you're stacking the deck with MJF, Kenny in Canada, Moxley, Osprey, and Andrade, Darby, that's a hell of a foundation, you know?
that has me enough ready to watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah. And now you got 2 weeks to fill out the rest of the card, which, I mean, there's still a lot to be hashed out with the women's division. What are you going to do with somebody like Fletcher? Mark Briscoe still hasn't been on TV, so still
you can run Darby and Davis.
I believe we're getting that next week on TV.
That's why I said, give me that. Please give me that. Give me Darby Davis. Give me Darby. You know who I really... Give me Darby Archer. I don't care if his name's in a cast, right?
We had Darby wrestle somebody in a straitjacket. We could do it with one arm.
Yeah, but yeah, we have 2 weeks in wrestling time. Is still enough time to get some stuff going here. But
yeah,
you have a strong undercard.
I'll throw one thing out there too before we wrap up. I think at the end of last year I had some Don Callis family fatigue, but if you look at how they've formulated it this year, Moxley running the gauntlet was awesome. Now you're gonna have Darby running the gauntlet and probably get an Andrade match out of it. I think they're in a good spot.
Yeah, we're pretty stacking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Overall, though, I don't think there was like anything in ring that I like disliked on this show. So I would say it was a pretty decent episode, all things considered.
Yeah, I have no issues. I think the 6-man, other than just being the hometown boys.
Yeah.
But I always like a Death Rider showcase. But other than that, no issues, no complaints. They said 2 weeks to build up, so they're gonna start stacking the next 2 Dynamites.
Yeah, which we start with Osprey Pack next week in Winnipeg, which is Kenny Omega's hometown.
Singlet. You gotta wear the singlet. You gotta pay for the abs.
Yep. Which the question heading into that match, something for us to chew on before they get into the ring in 5 days' time by the time you're hearing this. What kind of match are they going to have? Because Pac has shown he's been working a modified style, to say the least, but he can go back to what we've known him as we've seen with the likes of like Fletcher and other opponents in the C2. So now with Osprey, he is going to try to ground things, or they are going to have another one of their fireworks shows that they're known to have had.
I feel like you're going to get more of a not mature, but
like a focus, sort of like with the neck. Interesting.
Because Pac's going to be out to like try to hurt him for Mox.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to be focusing on the neck.
It's really interesting to think about because I love the last Osprey Pac-Man. I think that's like the best version of just like the video game wrestling. You know what I mean? But you do have on the table for them to try something different. So that's just something to think about. I think whatever outcome we get, it'll be fun. And keep it locked here. I'm sure we'll have a whole lot to say about it next week. But other than that, do you have anything to plug?
Squared Circle Expo this weekend, Indianapolis. I'll be down there. I don't know if anybody's listening to this. Gonna be down there. Come find me. I'm gonna be handing out some promos.
Yep. Say what's up to Chris if you are listening in the Indianapolis area this weekend for all the festivities. I just want to say, Chris, I hope you have time in your life. Hope you meet who you want to meet, catch some cool matches, and above all else, have some insane finds, because we're talking convention-style finds.
Well, you already know. I got some grails that I need to try and knock off my list. I got one person I want to meet for sure. That's the Great Muta. That's on my bucket list to meet him. He rarely does American appearances, so I should definitely take advantage of that. Man, I appreciate it. I'm going to be locked in. I can't wait to talk about it next week with you. Get back on here and talk this fine sport that I'm going to go hang out for a whole weekend and enjoy.
Hell yeah, dude. Again, I hope you have the best time. I don't really got much on my end other than Violent People rollout has started with our, like, 600 honorable mentions. Not a single one of my high votes has appeared yet, but I will be plugging the list more when we get to the actual 100, which should be next week. Because I did contribute about 30 blurbs from the top 100, so got a little bit of writing out there coming in next week. But until then, for Steve and for Chris, hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you got this far, thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you again next week.
See ya.